Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody out there's having a freaking awesome day. Whatever part of the day you're in. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Love you guys. Dan RadioStyle, I got a good one today on transformation. Kind of a good practice to get into, and I think like any good practice, you generally want to try to make sure that you're putting a little discipline into it. Because at first, practices are hard to get into, and then after a while, they become kind of routine, and you almost feel weird not doing it. And it's very easy. It takes minutes at best. And the thing I think that's really important about it all is that you feel the results. Like you feel it while you're doing it. And that's the key thing for anyone that's been following Goddard, of course. Feelings are everything. Like consciousness, what you're feeling, what you're pushing out of your feelings. Like it's all about feelings, right? It's an issue of trying to get ourselves to feel like we have it already. So it's a great kind of little practice that gets you into it. Now, one of the fantabulous things about this process is at first, I think there's kind of a good little first step, a little evolution that'll kind of get you in a better alignment with what it is that you desire. I think a lot of us may want love, may want health, may want wealth. You want something, but you really haven't defined it. Like I know a lot of people that wealth, for example, they're just imagining money. And money in and of itself isn't really wealth. Wealth is really the flow of money, doing things with money. That's when you're actually wealthy. When you get a giant pile of cash and then like spend it all or whatever, you end up having a hard time replenishing that. And that's why, lotto millionaires kind of tend to go bankrupt because they build up this big giant fortune, but they don't really ever get a flow of money going. They just got a pile of cash. So you're trying to figure out what it is that you need money for. Or are you trying to get into a relationship? Well, why? I mean, I don't mean that to sound stupid, like, because I want to be with someone. Well, do you want to be in love? Do you just kind of want someone to hang out with? Do you want someone to just text you? I mean, what level of relationship? Kids, marriage? Like, I mean, what are you interested in? Just learning about relationships? Understand where you're at in that process, and you will actually find that from those specifics, the rest of this process becomes significantly easier. Now, one of the things we want to look at too, and it's really important, it's the thing that keeps many of us away from our desire, and this is one of the keys, like put a star next to, an asterisk next to, because this one's actually really important from the standpoint of you're going to do the opposite. But what are your limiting beliefs? Again, with wealth, do you have issues with maybe wealthy people? Do you think all rich people are horrible? Do you think all rich people have slaves? Like, do you think anybody that has money is corrupted or evil? Like, if you have any sorts of weird, I just say in the fact that I want to be wealthy, but for some reason I hate wealthy people, like you create a contradiction within yourself. And when you do that, manifesting the thing that you're currently not is very hard to do because you've got a stigma attached to it. So do we have any sorts of limiting beliefs? Do we think that the person that we love, for example, maybe we've upset them, maybe they don't know who we are, maybe they're famous, right? Is there something that's, to you, a limitation? Is there something about this situation that you're like, I always have this doubt because of this limitation? So it's a good thing to call out because, and it will come in handy, but you're going to try to come up with an affirmation basically, and I don't mean normal affirmations, I'm going to do a small caveat on that, but you're going to essentially do an affirmation that's the opposite of what your limitations are, and we'll dig into it. But the other thing is you want to act as if, right? So what is that? To a large extent, sometimes people are like, well, I don't know what it would feel like to have something. One of the most important things is to truly try to understand that. Before you get into this daily habit, try to understand what it truly is to have the thing that you desire. Now, if it's love, trying to understand it from this perspective of being in it. If it's wealth, trying to understand it from the perspective of being in it. And how I mean that is meditate. Really, truly go in. Pretend in your mind. Shut your eyes. Shut the real world out. Go into your mind at where you've got time. This is kind of more of a one-time thing, 1, 2, 3, 4 time thing. You don't need to do this every day. But figure out, really, truly understand, if I'm wealthy, and I don't mean won the lottery wealthy, but okay, sure. If I win the lottery, what would I do? What would my life be like? Obviously a house, right? So think of a house. Start imagining your house. Start shopping for houses online. Start imagining walking through your house. Start imagining what you would like your house to be like. While you're manifesting the wealth, be thinking about the house. Be thinking about would you get a nice fancy Ferrari, or are you going to get something practical, maybe a little, an awesome, one of those E-Jaguar things? Buddy of mine got one of those. We kind of tease him, yet it's cool at the same, so whatever, it's a catch-22. But what kind of car are you driving? Do you have driving gloves? Do you put a scarf on, one of them fancy hats? I mean, is it a convertible? Like, what is your dream life? What's it look like when you open your front door? That's the part of this understanding this wealth. So when you get in and imagine opening up your door and looking out and seeing the horses galloping around and smelling the morning air and maybe having that cup of coffee in your hand, and that's what you're imagining in your mind, you're like, yeah, it would feel really awesome. And you start to get kind of a sense of what it's like to be in that life. And that is what creates that feeling. I've talked about that before as well, is when you imagine it and act as if you're there, it creates a real feeling. And that is raising your consciousness to the thing desired. And it's an issue of trying to hold it there, which again is what the daily practice is. It's more an issue of trying to hold it. So again, we're trying to find out what is that feeling for us. Of course, gratitude. Make sure you're grateful. Make sure you realize that by doing these efforts, by doing these daily practice, that you're actually creating this thing. And the fact that you're creating it is the God within ourselves, or the conscious source, whatever, within ourselves, is doing the creation, the I am part of ourselves. And then it's the I am realizing that we are the thing that we want to be. And that's the I am that I am. That's the key ingredient. Those 5 words describe what we're trying to do. Be grateful that this process exists. There's a blueprint that's been given to us, the secret, and we follow it, and it works. And it's pretty awesome. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And finally, learn about it. Whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you're trying to help your health, for example, maybe you're sick right now. Maybe you've got some sort of ailment. Instead of studying up on the ailment, study up on ways to be healthy, to enhance your health, to enhance your nutrition, to enhance maybe whatever exercise you're capable of doing, to enhance some components, aspects of your life. Start to study about being healthy. Again, it's the consciousness of what you'd like to experience that we're thinking about. Not how can I fight cancer? How can I fight diabetes? No. How can I be healthy? The same goes for love or any of those other things. If it's love, what are they interested in? Who are they? If they are famous, I'll probably learn a few things about them, learn about where they hang out, get an idea of what their life and social scene's like, and then start to understand that. Because if you truly are going to date this famous person, well, you're going to be entering into their life. And so you should be ready, you should not be surprised, and you should make sure that you truly are prepared for that level of life, right? Where other people are going to be attracted to your mate, and that's going to be like, wow, you're going to have a lot of confidence to make sure that doesn't bother you. So there's a lot of things. So learn all about that. Okay, so once we've got all of this stuff figured out, once we've got the answers to our big questions, and truly, I think this practice is amazing. The part before, like really understanding what it is that you're trying to manifest. Understand it from a truly personal level. Understand your limitations, your foibles, and the things that you have a hard time with. Now, I've talked about the mirror technique. I left a link in the thing below, but this is a different kind of version of it. I realize that some people, I think, have a hard time with the mirror technique. It's because really looking at yourself in the mirror and saying super nice stuff is truly a notch up, and it's tough to do. And for some people, it's weird. And that's really kind of how that can come out in a lot of cases. So this is kind of another version, and how this came about is I caught myself doing it. And I was like, yeah, I do this all the time. Holy crud, every morning. I put myself I was in the shower. It's where I do it. You can do it in bed in the morning. I do recommend in the morning. Nighttime, fall asleep. Imagine your thing like you normally do. This doesn't really impact that. This is more of a starting your day kind of thing. This is like a cup of coffee. But hop into your day more like this, wherever you can. While you're waking up, your first snooze, right? Your first alarm goes off, and you always hit snooze once in between, that 10 minutes you got maybe. This is a perfect time to do it. But what you do is you realize that whatever my limiting beliefs are, like whatever the thing is that you're trying to cause, is it health? I am healthy. I am living on a healthy life. And what it is kind of in my mind anyway, and this is how I do it, because I know raising my consciousness creates, and I know sometimes it's just an issue of like kind of giving myself credit for what I'm doing, giving myself a pat on the back. And all of us deserve pats on the back. How exhausted do you feel, right? You feel exhausted because you're doing all this effort. You see it as effort. I realize it's just an issue of trying to keep my consciousness at the place. So I have a pep talk with myself. And if it's something in the case of Maybe I'm trying to be healthy, right? I am healthy. I am eating healthier, man. You really haven't. It's kind of like followed up, like I'm doing the I ams, but it's followed up with that other side, that other conversation too, where it's like, dude, you've actually been, hitting the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You've been really good this week. You've been eating better. You've actually lost 5 pounds. Like you are. I am healthy, man. I am doing the right choices. I am making a difference. And what I notice when I do this, I'm getting chills right now. I feel it. I feel the consciousness raise. I feel the feelings happen. If I'm working on trying to be a new job, new performance in that area, I'm like, man, I am successful. I am bringing innovation. I am innovative. I'm coming up with new ideas. There was this thing I brought up the other day. It actually made the process a lot easier. Man, Dan, you're really on it. You're on fire. Right? Pep talk myself. I am really moving towards this. I'm making this happen. There's a job opening up for me, and I just have a little chit chat with myself. I have a little, attaboy, you're doing good. I am this. I am that. I am all these things. I am that I am. Use the affirmations in this format. So many people have doubts in their mind, right? And all of a sudden they try to throw an affirmation at it. Well, the doubt's kind of symbolic of other things. And a lot of the times when the affirmation, when we do it, we just say the words. I am great. I am happy. I am love. And it's devoid of any feeling or emotion. What this is meant to do is to use the affirmations and a little pep talk to get your feelings, like realize I'm telling myself this, realize that I'm starting my day off with a little, you're great, you're loved, everybody thinks you're the world of you. Like, what is it that you're trying to manifest? What are some of the components that need to exist for that to happen? What do you need to be as a person to make that happen? And then declare that you are those things. That's why the process of identifying what are those things that I need to be in order to manifest the dream that I have in my heart. Hope that makes sense to everybody. I'll follow up with the Dan RadioStyle, of course, right? But anywho, yeah, that's my little thing, right? The daily practice. Get yourself in that place. I am that love. I am that greatness. I am all these fantabulous things. And the thing that I like about this, folks, is it's not like I'm just trying to sell you a bridge. When you do this, you'll know what's working because you'll feel it. What if I don't feel it? Try again. Do it a little bit longer maybe. Maybe you've got to come up with some better I ams and really sort of attaboy yourself a little bit more or attagirl yourself a little bit more. But work on it because you'll get that feeling. You will feel it. You'll get chills. You'll feel lighter. You'll feel warm. There might be times where you'll even feel heat up in the crown, the top of your head. That happens frequently. Like your head will start to feel hot. Sometimes even you can start sweating. There's a lot of different physical experiences that you will go through while doing this technique. So it's just awesome. So I hope you guys try it. Again, I caught myself doing it and I was just like, yeah. And I was like realizing, oh my God, this totally works. And then it was like, it was natural. And I didn't realize how many times I give myself little pep talks, I guess. So, hey man, some say you shouldn't talk to yourself. I hope that's not true. Let me just say that much. That's all I can say.